In your experience, what is some of the most common emotional blocks that women face during menopause, and how come?
Denial. I
Yeah.
think that the most denial, resistance, um, I would say that many women don't actually understand what is going on because it's not something that they've been encouraged to learn about. So it feels like you're moving into an alien world because you're unprepared. I think that that's the truth of it. When you think about, the another reproductive part of our cycle is having babies. I mean, very few women would go into the birth process, without having understood what's going on these days. But it's not so common for us to find ourselves in a menopause class, is it? We have to seek that out ourselves, and I don't think that it was ever discussed.
And how does that work? Just explain it a little bit for those.
So when people say how does it work, I think a better question, if I may, is and how would I experience that? Okay, so in my case, I don't work with people with the content of the thing that they are experiencing the emotion or the unresolved trauma response about. So we won't go into domestic abuse, rape, watching somebody get shot. I mean, I've had all this with my clients and in my own life. So we don't talk about the trauma. Okay, we talk about the feeling somatically through the body. We enter the emotion through a feeling and then create a metaphor, a story around it. And then we alter the story and we alter the outcome of the story. And that works in the brain. It works in the amygdala here in the middle of your head, utilizes brain plasticity and the reconciliation moments in the amygdala, and literally removes the lock on the, because your adrenals are worn out. If you have adrenal fatigue, and if you're particularly a type 2 diabetic, and I'll tell you why in a second. So if you're a type 2 diabetic, what comes before insulin resistance is cortisol resistance, which is very often not talked about by the medical profession. So if there's cortisol resistance, your adrenals are already under stress. Then you get type 2 diabetes, and then you get various things going on between your thyroid and your ovaries and the hypothalamus, as you would know. And then when menopause kicks in, there's nothing to mitigate the hormonal shift, is there? There's nothing left. And I know for me, I started to tip into menopause during a burnout.
Yeah.
Boy, catastrophic. It was catastrophic and extremely shocking and sudden. Absolutely like falling off a cliff. Yeah?
Wow.
The difference of night and day for me, right? So being this very positive, focused, articulate human being to being a mental blob and almost being suicidal and crying all the time. And it was night and day. There was nothing in between for me. It was just like on, off,